America's team. And it's all over! The Browns are winners today!
What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. Great holiday weekend here with Labor Day going on tomorrow. This is my mustache. Welcome back to another episode of the Barking Brown Show. I'm Jacob. That's Casey Kidderman and Nick Carnes down below. Brought to you as always by our friends over at SeatGeek. So if you're ready to watch the Browns or the Guardians, we're starting to maybe heat up again, maybe a little bit. Four in a row. You know, you could go over to SeatGeek, use our promo code Barking Browns, all one word, get $20 off your first purchase. Make sure you hit that subscribe and that thumbs up here on the YouTube. Gentlemen, how are we?
I am falling apart. My main disclaimer is don't get old, kids. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. I was in the gym kicking ass today, and I managed to hurt a body part that I wasn't even lifting with. Yeah. That's where I'm at in life. The only thing that's keeping me going is knowing that in 1 week we have actual tangible football, an actual NFL regular season game at home against Cincinnati, and that's the one thing that's keeping me going.
I'm not going to lie to you. I've been watching some Joe Flacco highlights, specifically the Jaguars game today. Was feeling great about that. Watched David Bell streak to the end zone on a fourth down. That was pretty cool. David Njoku. And I was just reminiscing on how David Njoku set career highs across the board with Joe Flacco. I'm excited about him, man. We've got a bunch of bold predictions going on, but just unrelated to that, I'm feeling good about the Browns week 1 at home against the Bengals, man. I can't be talked off of it. I can't.
I wouldn't attempt to try.
No, I don't know. I'm just so curious how the Bengals defense looks. Like what's the game plan they go with? Yeah, they've got Trey Hendrickson, thankfully, under control to play this year. Will he be ready? Like, has Trey Hendrickson been working out this whole time? Yes. Like, I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass, but how's that going to look? And which in turn is like, can the Browns offense with a lot of new pieces, can it take advantage of that? Because it's a win they really need to be competitive this year, just because of the beginning of this first 6-game stretch, and we'll talk about that more in detail, is it's pretty brutal. So they got to figure it out. Side note, if you guys haven't, make sure you write down your bold predictions so we can revisit this at the end of the year. Because I'm writing mine down because last year I didn't.
Okay, I got to write them down.
Just as long as you have them, just so we can revisit this. But we're gonna do some bold season predictions. It's gonna end with a record prediction. We're sorry this episode isn't live. We had to record it a little bit earlier on Sunday. I assume we'll be live on Wednesday night, maybe.
Well, I will be when it debuts. I will be in the comments. So it'll feel live. So some of the people that are watching, I'll make sure I got the banner going.
What a guy!
Yeah. Well, I wasn't gonna live stream it. I was just gonna upload it, but I can live stream it, so it don't matter.
Just let me know when it uploads, so people when they first see it. We should do it live. That way, I'll stay interactive with them.
Okay.
I'm not going to abandon our chat, even though sometimes our recording schedule makes it so we can't do our normal time slot. People can depend on.
Yeah. So Casey will be in the comments this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably set it.
Yeah, we'll be, as long as you guys are free Wednesday, I'm free Wednesday, so we'll be back then. That works.
Yeah, we'll be back actually live then. But yeah, I should be able to get in the comments off and on too.
Yeah, let's go.
I should be able to do that. I got some things I'm trying to do this evening, and so it just depends on what time I get home. Is really what's going to be. Yeah, so we'll do some bold predictions and some things like that. Watch out too for, if you're curious about the weekend of the quarterbacks in the 26th draft, I will be doing weekly progress reports and weigh-ins over at theobr.com for how those guys are going and how it looks. And that the Nuss bus is strong. QB2, barring today at 3:00, my QB1, Lenore Sellers plays. I'm going down to my dad's house. We're going to kick back and watch that game together. So I'm excited to go down there and do that. And barring that, right now, Nuss had the most impressive day. And that, I know they only scored 17 points. He only throws for 230 yards, but that Clemson defense is nasty. And he made that one throw they end up calling incompletion. I think it was a touchdown. That throw was insane. And I'll highlight it in my article and stuff. So check that stuff up over at theobr.com. I'll keep you updated on all of that stuff. And also we'll do progress reports. I'm doing a show, the OBR draft show, Saturdays at like 10 a.m. So things like that as well.
So what is it? Bust for Nuss? Is that what's going to be the slogan?
Ooh,
I like that.
because we did.
And are you going to be able to beat the Saints? Because his dad is the OC,
right,
in New Orleans right now. So,
which might end up being one of those situations where you end up like second, third, top 5 or whatever, and you're like, well, we know the Saints, if they're ahead of us, like Nuss is not going to be. He's not going to. That's very interesting too, because like one of the things I love so much about Garrett Nussmeier is that he is a coach's son, and you can see that from the like football IQ and the processing and things like that. And so the opportunity to then go be with his friend. You know, I keep forgetting that people will randomly remind me that's where his dad's coaching, and I'm like, oh shit, that's right. But my quarterback Drew Aller looked pretty good.
I'm going to give you an unrelated prediction, because I thought, like looking at the NFL landscape this season, I thought it seemed pretty obvious that the Saints are going to finish with the worst record in the NFL. I took them at plus 600. I bet $50 on it that the Saints are going to get the number 1 overall pick. I just don't see any way. They're choosing between Spencer Rattler and they took
Tyler
Shuck in the first round.
No,
second round. Okay,
I think I'm at 40.
Okay, thank you. So Rattler, who they didn't even like,
who beat out Tyler Shuck.
So they didn't even like Rattler last year, has beat out Tyler Shuck. That is a walking disaster team, in my opinion. And I'm more confident than I should.
Is that a bold prediction? That's a bold prediction. Then Casey, do you have a bold prediction for the worst team in the football league?
Yeah, because there's never a team that you see coming. It's always like you'd be like, "Oh, this is definitely the worst team." You know, if last year we'd have said here, like, "Well, the Commander's about to take it on the chin for a year," and then they whooped ass. You know what I mean?
I thought the Titans would be okay. I thought the Titans would be decent, and they were not.
Yeah. Part of this is wish casting, but I'm gonna go ahead and go say Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, okay.
Implosion City.
Wow. There it is.
That's a really interesting one.
That would be. Can you imagine that?
I'm going to say the Colts.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to say
that Danny Dimes hive is going to take that hard, man.
I know. Where's MC is going to be so mad.
They're not going to like it.
He's going to like as I'll be in the live chat and he'll be like, "What you?" He's going to be so mad at me. And right now he's potentially, as he's watching this part of the recording, he's typing something up mean to me. So, I'm going to do that. Okay, let's get into it, man. Casey, I'll let you go first because you made one last week that I assume you're going to highlight again this week. So I'll let you go with your first Browns bold prediction for 2025.
Well, I'm going to start off on the defensive side of the ball. And I did say that because early in the process, as soon as we started to see the team on the field in practices, I was like, Schwesh is going to lead this team in tackles. I am up a level. Carson Schlesinger is going to lead the NFL in tackles as a rookie. And with that, you get those accolades. You get the first team All-Pro. You get things we haven't seen out of a rookie in Cleveland at linebacker in our lifetime. We're going to see that as far as tackle numbers. But I'm going to extend that. This Browns defense will have 3 first-team All-Pros on it.
Whoa. Hello.
And one of them, one of them's Myles Garrett. No, big surprise. Shocker. What a bold statement. 2 rookies, Mason Graham and Carson Schlesinger, first-team All-Pro as rookies.
That'd be Can you imagine that?
Can Nick, I was going to let you go second, but I have a Carson Schlesinger. I also have a Mason Graham, but I have a Carson Schlesinger one. Yeah. Not quite as battle, but I got over 125 in tackles. Over 125 tackles is the number I have for Carson Schlesinger. So I didn't go quite as bold as you, but I will go over 125 tackles, which is how you make an All-Pro.
Does that lead the team? Does that lead the team?
I would assume so. I didn't really think about it that far. But yes, I'll go ahead and say that because I'd be flabbergasted for him to have 125 and someone else to have more than that. It's possible,
I think of Grant Delpit. I don't remember how many tackles he had when he led the team, but
he had over 100.
Yeah, he's had over 100 two different times.
But like, there wasn't someone else. There wasn't someone else on the team with over 100 when he did that. I don't think.
Okay,
if I remember it. So I'll say over 125, and that leads the team.
Which just before we get to my first one, looks like Carson might be keeping his number.
Yes.
Okay.
I was waiting for that because that's the jersey. I think I might. I don't know. I've had such bad jersey luck, so I don't know if I'm gonna.
You think you're the reason it's happening? All right. So the question is, you get it though, or what? Are we going whites, brown? What are we doing?
I don't actually have the only white I have is the throwback whites from a few years ago that have the like orange around the brown.
I got Nick Chubb.
I got a Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. I remember when you got that.
That was the time that Nick was screaming, why do we even have a fucking offensive coordinator? Arizona didn't have a head coach or their offensive coordinator. They fucking beat our asses. Yeah,
you should change the nameplate to Cormella.
Yeah. I felt so bad. I bought my dad a jersey for Christmas. He doesn't do a ton of jerseys, but he liked JOK so much when they got him that I bought him that jersey, but it's the 28.
That's your curse.
My curse is they change numbers. So even if they stay on the team, they either get hurt, stay on the team, or leave the team.
Could you switch the nameplate from Wright and make that a Graham?
I could, but like I still love Alex Wright.
That doesn't mean you can't love Mason Graham. Like, you got the number. It's going to be more harder to switch out the number than the nameplate. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. Because it's going from a 4 to a 1. That's pretty hard. Nick.
My first Browns bold prediction is similar to what we talked about last week, but I am confident that Joe Flacco is not going to miss a game to injury in 2025. He's been healthy. Somehow he's been the healthiest quarterback in camp, despite being 40 years old. I'm tired of hearing about his age. He hasn't had a serious injury since his time in Denver, which is like 6 years ago now.
That was 27 or 28, I think. Or 2017 or 2018.
Right. So it's been a long time. Right. It's my point. So it's like 8 years ago or whatever. I don't know. My point is, I just don't see why.
You're saying he could get benched for a rookie if he's underperforming, but
he could be benched. I'm not Mr. I just don't believe he's been very durable. He's a big guy. He's still stout and sturdy. I don't see a situation. I think Joe Flacco can hold up. My question is if his play holds up, not his physical health.
Okay. I think that's fair. Casey, what do you got for number 2?
Touched on this last week too, but I'll expound to the full breadth of what this means. I think the player that'll lead the Cleveland Browns in touchdown receptions this year is rookie Harold Fanden Jr.
Whoa.
I think rookie Harold Fanden Jr. will score double-digit touchdowns. I think he gets to 10. That 10 represents a couple things. First off, it would be the most touchdowns from a tight end in Browns history. The most right now is Ozzie Newsome had his second year. He had 9. And Gary Barnidge had 9 touchdowns in his his Pro Bowl season.
That was an awesome year, dude. That Gary Barnidge year. When he caught that ball on his butt.
So by scoring 10 touchdowns, Harold Fanden will have the rookie for all tight ends in Browns history for a single season and the most touchdowns from a receiver, regardless, as a rookie. No Browns rookies ever had 10 as a receiver, receiving touchdowns.
Okay. I got one that involves Harold Fanden.
Okay.
Harold Fanden and Dylan Sampson will combined for over 1,100 all-purpose yards.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Because you're looking at both of them being a secondary option at their position, because Jerome Ford and or Quinshon Judkins is going to get some run too with Sampson. But I could see both of them being like 500-600 yard guys. All-purpose yardage guys. And in that case, Harold Fanden could be like a 600-yard receiver with 10 touchdowns in case of both of our predictions coming true. But I take those two guys together to be probably in the 500 to 700 yardage range, and not just receiving for or not just rushing for Sampson and not just receiving for Fannin. I think there are going to be some manufactured touches for both of them in different forms. And I think that's why I like Dylan Sampson as much as I do, is I think that his skill set bodes well for different ways. Fannin both, I should just say, I think both of them have unique skill sets that bode well for using them in different types of ways and confusing the defense and blah, 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 all those good, what's the thing called? Not trigger word, but hot words, the hot button. Buzzword. There we go. Good Lord. How long was it going to take? I was never going to get there. Thank God you figured it out. Like, I was jumping around just saying other things. I got one of my favorite gym shirts on right now. You ever seen my Swolamander shirt?
Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool.
You can get all the Pokemon in this.
Does it come with a thing where you can insert an ice pack right behind it? Because that's what I'm in the market for, boys.
No.
If you guys will notice, I am sitting back further than I normally do. It's because there's an ice pack wedged between my back and the seat.
I don't mean to laugh because I have hurt myself recently too, but it's just the way you're going about it. You're just like, it's back there, brother.
Yeah, there's a strap. I don't have it. I had it over the top of like a book bag there for a minute, but
I like this. All right, Nicholas, number 2 for you.
I've got a couple, and I think the one I'm going to go with is first Jerry Jeudy, because I think about how he eclipsed 1,200 yards last year, and that really came in like a 6-game sample. So I'm going to say this year that Jerry Jeudy eclipses 1,500 yards. I think it's possible. I think, you know what? I watched him basically.
That's written down on my list too. That exact same thing is written down.
Okay. So we're on the same page here. So let's both take it. I just think Jerry Jeudy's clearly a fit in this offense. He showed it as soon as the quarterback was willing to actually throw the ball down the field, right? He clearly is a receiver that isn't a bust, and I think he is going to become the second Browns wide receiver to have back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Thank you, Amari Cooper, for finally making that a thing. And I do think he takes the next step, because I think this pass game is going to be live, and I think going back to Kevin Stefanski's offense is going to be a good thing. And it just was too easy when the Browns actually had a quarterback willing to throw the ball. So I think Jerry Jeudy's going to continue to make a statement and pick up where he left off last year.
To further that argument, since I literally have Jeudy 1,500 written down as at the top of my list, by the way, that was the top of my list. I just decided to bounce around.
So I'm going to text it to us too.
So one thing that we talk about with David Njoku when we talk about that sample size of him with Joe Flacco, which is why him and Joe Flacco are like best buds, because he knows he's going to get a lot of opportunities again because he remembers that. Do you see the video of the kicking in the feet and then the thing?
Yeah.
Oh, God. And my favorite is that Joe Flacco did that interview where he's like, he just calls me Joe Flacco. He doesn't call me Joe. He doesn't call me Flacco. He has to use my whole name. He has to call me Joe Flacco every time. And I'm like, it's a bromance that like you can root for, right? Because they both seem like genuinely good dudes and fun guys to be around. So you're like, yeah, I love this bromance, right? Well, Judy's athletic ability, and just overall ability to create after catch, I think it's on par with David's. Like, in terms, they do it a little bit differently. One guy's a little bit bigger with, David Njoku's a little bit bigger. And I think he's got Jerry Jeudy's contested catch ability is up there too. I was going to say he might have a better vertical, maybe a little bit more physicality. He's probably got a little bit more physicality than Jerry does, but I think I know Jerry Jeudy's faster overall. So I think that having that in my mind and thinking, hey, there's a good chance you're going to get a lot of Flacco, and even Dylan Gabriel, because I think Dylan Gabriel is the ultimate point guard in terms of he wants to set his guys up by putting, going to routes and putting the ball in places that allows them to continue after the catch, because that's what Gabriel did in college. Like, that's why I thought he could run this offense was, hey, I think he's a point guard. I think that bodes well for Jerry Jeudy having a very successful season. Bodes well for David Njoku and Harold Fanta and Dylan Sampson, as I've said too. But I think that this system and the style of quarterbacks and Jerry Jeudy's skill set, I think he's got a chance to make a lot of yards after the catch between these two quarterbacks. Hell, Shedeur probably gives him a good chance to do it too, for being completely honest.
Yep.
So, especially if that run game and the play action can really get cooking, I'd be in a pretty good spot.
All right. Before I go into my next bold bet, I'm going to piggyback on something you said a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns social media team is missing the boat if they do not do a mock trailer for a buddy cop comedy with Joe Flacco and David Njoku.
If they don't do it, I'm doing it.
Just a minute long, minute and a half of just like cop scenarios, but just those. Dude, lights out.
Aviators.
Lights out, man. I just think that I don't know, man. I think that'd be amazing. But I'm also going to piggyback off your take from when you said you had one that tied to my fan in with Sampson.
Yes.
Well, I got one that ties to Sampson, so I'm going to go ahead and spin it. The Browns have 3 running backs on this roster that will all 3 will have over 650 total yards from scrimmage. So I think that Ford, Sampson, and Judkins when he comes back.
Are you surprised that they didn't do a Judkins news dump on Friday before?
No, this whole situation's been too weird. Nothing's went the way I thought it was going to go. So if you were going to do a news dump, the day to do it was when Swift and Kelsey got engaged. If you were ever going to do a news dump ever, that was the day. You could have announced anything. You could be like, aliens they're here already. You could be like, they're living amongst us. You could have said whatever you wanted.
Actually, Quinshot
flew under the radar. You missed the boat. It'll happen when it happens. I'm not worried about it. The way I look at it is he's going to be a fresh back whenever he comes into the fold. I just think you have 3 running backs that all have over 650 yards from scrimmage.
I like that. I like that a lot just because, like you said, even with Quinshon, it could be a situation where Ford has a lot more in the first half and then Judkins gets a lot more in the second half of the season.
Yep.
Just because of suspensions and whatever else might play out. I like that. 3 guys, 600.
I want to weigh in with Nick for something, though. I don't know if you heard it, Nick, but my pitch is to the Cleveland Browns social media team that they do a little movie trailer, a minute and a half long movie trailer, but it's a buddy cop comedy with Flacco and Njoku.
Love it.
I think
like the Aviators.
That'd be so cool.
Like do the rip off of the Aviator like that. Dude.
I'm sorry. I just need to know what Casey said his bold prediction was.
The Browns have 3 running backs that all 3 have over 650 yards from scrimmage.
Woo, baby! Does that make them a top 10 rushing team?
Well, it's also receiving, and I think Sampson and Ford will contribute heavily in that. Judkins will mostly come from the ground, in my opinion.
Sure.
But I mean, I think that they'll, if you, as a team, they'll have over 1,500 rushing yards, which will put them in the upper quartile. I would say top 8.
Okay. Wow.
I got one. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Mason Graham and Malik Collins
Mm-hmm.
combined will have at least 12 sacks.
Woo!
And last week I was going to make when I was like, oh my God, I started to say it. No, it was on our Wednesday show. So on our Wednesday show, I started to say something about like, oh, Mason Graham having X amount of sacks. And then I went back and I said, oh, I'm not going to say anything because we're going to do the bold predictions episode next week. So I'm going to wait for that. And so while I was thinking about it and going over it, I thought that earlier in the offseason, I also had made a prediction that like, I think Malik Collins will get a lot of cleanup sacks, like just from these edge rushers, because I think they've got a really nice like group on the interior that is going to be able to push the pocket vertically. And so when when Myles Garrett and Alex Wright and Isaiah McGuire and some of those other guys are on the outside and pushing quarterbacks to step up, this year it's going to be different. Mason Graham's going to be there some. And I know Mike Hall he's probably not going to play week 1, but him passing the physical was huge. And I know that Mason Graham's probably not going to get a ton of those passing down reps because that's Aiden Huntington and Mike Hall and kicking Alex Wright in there. But I think Mason Graham has shown me like his get off and athletic ability and his hands. I think he has shown that this system is going to work for him as a pass rusher. And Malik Collins, I think, has proven that he can rush the passer. He's had a nice career doing it as an interior defensive lineman. And I just think 5 or 6 for both of them. And could most of them be cleanup sacks where other guys are forcing guys to step up? Yeah, probably. But 12 or more cleanup sacks, I don't give a shit how they come about. Those guys combining for 12 sacks, not even counting what Mike Hall might do and Aiden Huntington and things like that. That is a very productive defensive line if something like that happens. So I'm going to put Mason Graham, Malik Collins, 12 plus sacks combined.
I feel like we're just on the same page, Jacob, because I'm going up a sack prediction as well.
Okay.
Because I just want to preface it with, I believe that this is probably the deepest defensive line Myles Garrett's ever played with. And on top of that, it has the potential to be one of the most competent offenses he's ever played with. We'll see how that goes. But I think for the first time in his NFL career, Myles Garrett is going to lead the league in sacks. I think he can do that. I think it can happen. They just can't. Like, I know obviously you start your game plan with, we need to block Myles Garrett, but there are too many threats from too many areas. And I just think the offense is going to put some teams in holes. And when you finally do that, like we've been waiting Myles Garrett's essentially his whole career outside of 2020 for that to happen. I just feel like he can feast. I feel like he's at the peak of his powers. I feel like Myles can lead the league in sacks for his first time, for the first time.
Well, strange enough, my prediction is around sacks as well.
Okay.
Team sacks. I went ahead and did the math and went and looked back. The most sacks they've ever had in a regular season was in 1993, and it was 48.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to get to 50. They're going to eclipse it and get to 50.
Oh, yeah.
Now, granted, there's an extra game in there. I don't know how much bold this is. I just look at it's going to come from multiple people, obviously. Myles is the ringleader, but as Jacob pointed out, they got defensive tackles that get pushed to get upfield. And between Wright and McGuire and JTS, I just think I think you're going to have several players that are hovering 5 or higher, and then you're going to have Myles kind of anchoring everything in the double digits. And if Myles can also extend his own records here. He's the only player in NFL history to have 12 sacks in a season for 5 straight. Add another one, baby. That one's just going to keep getting notched up. So I think this will be the most prolific sacking defense the Browns have ever had. I thought about going total points. In 1994, they gave up 204 points. That's 12.75 points a game.
Oh, yes.
I couldn't do it. I can't pull the trigger in this league with the offenses you're going to face. I do think they could probably keep it around 250, though.
Yeah, because you're facing Baltimore and Cincy twice. So to keep the average that low.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah, you got the bill. Yeah.
In Detroit, there's a lot of heavy hitters in this, so I couldn't go that route as far as all-time defenses for the Browns, but I think they'll take care of the pass rush portion.
Nothing would do right, for reputation and such than that defense and Myles Garrett really dominating. Like people would just kind of forget the trade request, forget the speeding tickets, the whole thing. If Myles Garrett's like leading the league in sacks, or if the Browns are just dominating on defense.
All right. I've only got one more. How many more do you guys have?
That was it for my bolds.
Okay. You got any more?
I'm full.
Okay.
I'm full.
I'll do my one more, and then we'll do we want to do record first or AFC North standings first? Because they kind of go hand in hand. You guys,
I'm good at
it. My last one is Denzel's a unanimous first-team All-Pro corner this year.
So that means you're predicting probably his most healthy year?
Yes. I know it's crazy because he's already dealt with something this year.
Yeah.
In the preseason, but man, there's just something about the way he's looked. And and some of it's probably going to be the fact that people aren't going to go after him because there's some depth issues in the slot and things like that. But I really think Greg Newsome's going to have a good year too. Like, and I think Denzel is going to unanimously, like, he doesn't have a first team All Pro, does he? He should, but he doesn't. I don't think he has one.
No, he's Pro Bowls.
So I think he gets
Pro
that
Bowled up.
unanimous first team All Pro.
Okay.
Maybe not unanimous, but he'll get a first team All Pro,
which would be huge. And like the thing is, like, he's had his plays merited before, as far as him being a lockdown corner, what he does with pass breakups, but it's the interceptions that keeps him from attaining that goal, because he'll lead the league in PBUs and completion percentage against and all those things that normally you see from those kind of players. But it's always the interceptions where don't get me wrong, he'll have 4 or 5, but to get that, he's going to have 8. Yeah, one of those big years, and be healthy. If he can do that, man, obviously the talent's there.
Let's start with the AFC North standings. Let's predict the AFC North standings, because I think that gives a little bit of drama when it talks about what our record prediction is. So that's so hard right there. So I'll start. We'll do fourth, third, second, first, around the horn. I'll start. Casey, you'll be second. Nick, will come to you.
Yeah.
In last, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just do not know how the DK Metcalf, Aaron Rodgers experiment doesn't go nuclear. Would it surprise me if this team just wins 10 games like they always do? No. It would not surprise me, because for whatever reason, that's just how it operates. But in the preseason, I am legitimately concerned. I don't understand the Arthur Smith marriage with Aaron Rodgers. I am very concerned about that. So is he going to be audibling a bunch because he doesn't like what Arthur Smith does? Because I don't really love what Arthur Smith does, and I don't think it really matches what Aaron Rodgers is at this point in his career. Like, there's just a lot of questions there. I think they'll be a good defense. I think they'll have a good defense, but like, I've just got a lot of questions about their offense, and like, but then I know I can easily look like a fool because that's just who that organization is. And part of this is wishful thinking, because I just wanted to be in the basement one time. But for now, on August 31st, I predict the Steelers finish last in the AFC North. Well,
we are same on this. And we talked about this a little bit on All Eyes this week. And the name, I'm glad you invoked his name, because like the DK, Aaron Rodgers, but it's the Arthur Smith factor. And it's the fact that, like, okay, Pittsburgh, what do you want to do? You want to run the ball? You want to play defense? You want to connect on big plays? I get it. Nobody checks out of more runs than Aaron Rodgers. Nobody. And it's not even close. That is going to kill Arthur Smith. That is what's going to kill that. He's going to come to the line. He's going to see something he likes. He's going to can, get to the second play. And then that's going to erode the relationship with Tomlin, because Tomlin he just wants to keep the train on the tracks. He just wants to stay above the sticks, run the ball and play defense, man. Don't F this up. That's the whole thing for the quarterback in Pittsburgh. And don't get me wrong, man, Rodgers could have a good statistical year, but I don't think it's going to mesh with the style of offense that Arthur Smith wants to employ. And I think that over time, that's going to lead to meltdowns. And then it's going to be in the media, because Tomlin's not one to shy away from saying things about players if he thinks they've overstepped where they're at. So once he starts talking about Aaron kind of like that, then what happens on McAfee?
That's what I was about to say.
Go big air at the end. So I got them. And don't get me wrong, man, I think that they could still finish right at 500. I think they could be a 8-win team, 9-7. I think it's in that range, but I think that's enough to earn them the 4th place in the AFC North this season.
Nicholas, don't meme yourself.
Aaron Rodgers is the old man everyone thinks Joe Flacco is. He's been hurt more. He has 50 times the ego. He is paid a million more times the money and is infinitely more difficult to work with. You know what? Rome never thought their damn empire was going to crumble either. Okay? I don't care how many years the Pittsburgh Steelers have been this great winning organization. All things end. All things. and I've been saying it for a long time and been wrong. So I'm going to try again. I'm picking the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm picking the Pittsburgh Steelers to be the bottom of the AFC North, and I will not let them forget it for a single day. A single day. I'll make a daily tweet. That the Pittsburgh Steelers were 4th place in the AFC North. I don't see like you can't get to the point of Aaron Rodgers where like your skills and physical self are declining, but still carry the ego. It's like Joe Flacco is willing to play for peanuts. He's willing to do whatever the organization asks. He's not expected to be handed the starting role. He just came in. He came back after the damn team cast him off, right? Aaron Rodgers spent the whole summer just making the Pittsburgh Steelers wait. He demands far more money and is certainly, as you both have said, going to overrule Arthur Smith. Casey said like the greatest thing the other day, and it's like Joe Flacco is Kevin Stefanski's avatar on the football field. Do you see any world in which Aaron Rodgers and Arthur Smith are no. So I think this is finally the time where it just blows up in their face. I think it's just finally the time because Aaron just is always going to be Aaron, right? No matter if he's 24 or 44 or whatever. And I just can't like. And so it's DK Metcalf and it's Roman Wilson, and Aaron doesn't want to run the ball. So I think it's finally time.
3rd place. I have the Cincinnati Bengals.
Whoa.
That's right, folks.
Wow.
That's right. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
Wow.
And I will eat the crow if I need to eat the crow. That is perfectly fine with me. I just don't – I see their season going exactly how it did last year because of that defense. I think their offensive line they just signed was that Reisner? Is that the guy's name? They just signed a pretty good guard. So I think their offensive line might be a little bit better. Mm-hmm. But like they couldn't win games because they couldn't stop a cold. And I just still don't see how they do it. I just don't like, are they going to be like a 4-win team or something like, no, they're going to be close to 500, but it's going to be a 7 or 8 win season because I just think that they're going to, when they go up against these big offenses, like I think the Browns are going to score probably the most points they'll score in the first 6 weeks of the season will be on week 1 in my mind, because that's the matchup. Right. That's the matchup when they have to do it, when they have to build some confidence for the season is right away. So there's only like a game difference between my 3rd place and my 2nd place team, but that's where I'm at, man. I just think they're not the exact same team, but they feel like the exact same team they were last year to me.
This doesn't make for the best content, but you can just copy and paste what you just said for me. I have the Bengals at 3rd. I have them finishing with the same record as the Browns, but the Browns winning all the tiebreakers, the head-to-head. I have the Browns sweeping Cincinnati in the regular season. But everything you just said is true. They're going to be fun to watch. Joe's going to keep them in games. Their defense is going to be the Achilles heel. You can only outrun people for so long. Everything Jacob just said applies to what I think about the Bengals. Some teams don't catch off guard because they can put up points, but over the long haul, if you don't have the defense, man, it can give your offense breaks, and it's just no team's going to win long term with that kind of deficiency on one side of the ball or the other, no matter how good their offense is. You just can't do it for the entire season. So. 3rd place, Cincinnati Bengals, although I do have them being slightly above 500.
We did not discuss any of these takes
before
the show.
No, actually, we just decided.
We should have.
Before the show, we decided we were even going to do this.
But right, and I'm going to come at it from a different angle because my 3rd place pick is the Cincinnati Bengals. But my angle is this. The Bengals are going, because of their defense, the Bengals are often going to be in obvious passing situations. We've seen Joe Burrow lose 2 seasons to injury already. They really didn't do much of a job of addressing their offensive line. And I was talking a couple weeks ago about how I haven't appreciated, how injuries stack up and how hits stack up. And I just think Joe Burrow, now I'm not wishing injury on anybody, but like, is he this generation's Andrew Luck? I just feel like the Bengals are not supporting him the way that a franchise quarterback should be supported. And every one of those hits matters. He's taken so many already. So like on paper, the Bengals are one of the most talented offenses in the league. And I agree with that. But I feel more strongly that Joe Burrow will miss games due to injury than Joe Flacco. Because you just know Joe's going to get the crap kicked out of him because the Bengals don't protect well, and they're probably going to be in some games where they're in obvious passing downs. They can't go to Chase Brown. They can't use play action. So they're just going to get Joe Burrow hit until he either breaks or wins them games. And Joe's going to win them some of those games. But I'm worried about his health because he's already been injured so much. And I think that ultimately is their downfall because they're just not investing in the team around Joe as they should. Like if the Browns had Joe Burrow, they would be kicking the can down the road to get the best offensive line, the best defense. They would be investing. They already spend the most money in the league, right? Like if they had that type of franchise quarterback, they would do everything in their power to get as much talent as possible. And it's like the Bengals are just this bargain basement.
It's what they tried to do with Deshaun Watson. They just had the wrong quarterback.
Yeah, right. So I have the Bengals in third because I just don't believe Joe can take all those hits, man. I just don't think so.
And I also want to jump on with the Joe Burrow commentary here. And it's even if they do protect him well, that man holds on the ball too long. He tries to make plays that aren't. He won't just let it go for another down. He's going to try to extend plays, try to keep things alive because he believes in himself. And a lot of times that works out for him because he's Joe Burrow, man. I'm not throwing shade, but he also takes some unnecessary hits because of that. And over the course of a season, that can add up pretty quickly.
Yeah, and if you watch the season 2 of Quarterback on Netflix, you can see where Joe puts a lot of pressure on himself if the defense is not performing.
Right.
And so you can just like the mental side of it where he's like, I got to be Superman, which and a lot of times he does.
Yeah.
But because of that, he takes some extra hits. Like when I was screaming, go down in that preseason game, I'm like, you don't need, especially not right now. You don't need to be doing it. Like I get it because
he's a psycho competitor and he can't turn it off though.
I am that way too, and that's why I try not to play too many family board game nights because I get a little too intense. So I get that aspect of it, but it's just like for your well-being, brother, you got to make at least every once in a while turn it off a little bit.
Like it's not the same situation, but we watched Cam Newton rip the Superman shirt open, and we also watched Cam Newton probably retire like 5 years sooner than in general you would think a guy like him would, because he just did so much for his team all the time. And I just feel like Joe's in that same Andrew Luck, Cam Newton mold where it's like, I don't know. Maybe
if Cam isn't built to take that punishment, no quarterback's built to take the punishment.
He's the one person that was physically built to take that punishment. He still couldn't do it. Like, he did it.
Bill comes due, man.
Yeah. Did it well for a very long time, though. I will say that.
Yeah, for sure.
So obviously, I got the Bengals second. I got the Ravens first. I think the Ravens probably end up being a team that potentially has the best record in football. I
hate them.
I do too, but I think they're really freaking good.
They are.
And as if I sit right here, right now, I think the Browns do just enough to win 9 games.
God damn it! We've copy paste. Here we go. Yeah, I got the Browns a second and 9-8 team.
Man, we're gonna have to, for the bet, we're gonna have to figure out a tiebreaker.
We'll go game by game. We'll go game by game.
We gotta go game by game.
Yeah, we have to, and we'll have to keep it quick because we're racking them up. But the Baltimore Ravens are a unit; they're a machine. Yeah. I wish it like if we were looking at Detroit, like, oh, what's the brain drain going to do to them? They lost all their coordinators, and can they keep it moving? Can they keep it on the same level? Well, we faced this with the Ravens a couple seasons ago, and it was like they lost their DC, they lost their OC. Todd Monken comes in, which I thought was a complete mismatch of skill set to quarterback philosophy, the way that it's worked great. Even when they got Derrick Henry, I thought, well, that takes the ball out of Lamar's hands. No, man, it works perfect. I can't throw shade. They're a unit. I do have them. We did our all eyes playoff predictions last week. I have Baltimore as the 2 seed. That's a 12-win team, dude. They're good. If you split with them, that's success. That's how I look at the Ravens. If you're able to split with them, man, that's about as successful as you're going to be against that team.
They're deep everywhere, and then they just get like gifts, like Jair Alexander, right? Who I have no idea why it didn't work in Green Bay or whatever. But it's like they just get him now. They just extended Kyle Hamilton. I just feel like the defense is going to be better. And you still have Derrick Henry. You just pick up DeAndre Hopkins, who I feel like is going to be still just a possession receiver. Like Lamar is going to go to him. I just feel like
he's still a problem. Yeah.
And
I think the Ravens, if you just look at them as a whole, every facet, they do the key free agent stuff. They know they're good at extending the guys they want to extend and keeping it moving. But I think the thing that I always come back to when I think about why they're as successful as they are is they do not overthink the NFL draft. They constantly let blue chip dudes fall right in their lap, and they're happy to take them. You can have the questions you want. They seem to just they just keep it moving, man. They keep reloading with top tier talent.
I know Hopkins is old, but I feel like he's the perfect complement to Zay Flowers. Like those two receivers are going to play really well off of each other. I know Isaiah Likely's hurt. Is that? I believe that's the case.
Start the year, yeah. He'll miss some games start the year.
Okay, but Mark Andrews was in a car accident last year, and he had a down year. Ended up finishing with a bunch of touchdowns. Like I don't think Mark Andrews is dead. You know what I'm saying? Like he could easily have a bounce back year, and that sucks. I hate Baltimore, but that's just where I'm at with it. It just they are so there's no AFC North team better in the regular season than the Baltimore Ravens. They always win a ton of games. I don't even know the last time they didn't win double-digit regular season games.
I mean, Tyler Huntley won a Pro Bowl.
That's fair.
Can you believe the Browns don't have a quarterback and they cut a Super Bowl? They traded a Super Bowl champion and cut a Pro Bowler? Like, that was pretty stupid. That was somebody said that. I was like, oh, God. I was waiting because I knew it. I thought it as soon as it happened. And I'm like, I'm not going to say it. And then somebody else said it. And I'm like, I'm glad somebody actually said it, though.
All right. So here's their schedule. Bengals at Browns. Win.
Same.
Okay.
Yep, starting off 1-0, Jacob.
Yes.
Okay.
Browns at Ravens. Loss.
Yeah, loss.
Okay.
Packers
at Browns.
Win.
Got it as a win.
I do too. Even with Micah Parsons, which is terrifying.
Yep, and we'll be there, by the way.
We will be there. Browns at Lions.
Yeah, that's an L, man.
Yeah, I agree. That's going to be a tough one. So I'm going to lose. Okay. Browns in England. Vikings, Browns.
I got a loss.
I got to win. I'm not that scared of JJ McCarthy.
They're going to be there a week before us, man. I don't like it.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of
stuff either.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Yeah.
Okay. Browns home. No, Browns at Steelers.
Yeah, I got now. Yeah.
I really want to predict a win, but I just don't. I don't.
Yeah.
Is that little stretch of England, Minnesota being there sooner, back home to play Pittsburgh it's just really fucked in my opinion. So I'm gonna say a loss.
Which means all three of us through the first 6 games, which are the roughest stretch we have on the schedule. Yeah. All three of us have them at 2-4. No, yeah. Jacob has them at 3-3. He predicted a win. So in Minnesota.
Okay.
Or I say at Minnesota, but in England.
Yeah. So then Dolphins at Browns.
Dub.
I'm saying win.
Dub.
I'm actually going to take a loss here. I think there's going to be a loss somewhere that's unexpected, and that's the one I'm taking.
Okay.
Mine will come later.
So then Browns at Patriots.
Yeah,
I got another win.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. Mike Vrabel, old friend. I think they can beat Drake May, and I just don't think the Patriots have enough offensive weapons. See Travion Henderson and maybe Quinshon Judkins. We'll see. All right.
So that's bye week. So it's 8 games. We all have them at 4-4 then, right? Because Jacob gave the surprise loss there to Miami.
Yep.
Okay.
So then Browns at Jets.
I got a loss. And this is where I start predicting a game they should win. It's at the Jets, but I think they're the more talented team. But I think that this is my loss you don't see coming loss.
I'm gonna take a dub. I'm gonna
take a win too. Okay. So then Ravens at Browns.
I just think they're too good.
I got to win. I got us splitting with Baltimore.
Okay. I'm not. I just think the Ravens are too damn good, and I hate that. But I got lost. So then I will be there in Las Vegas. Browns win over the stupid Raiders. I hate them.
I'm sorry, Nick. I got them losing that game.
I did too.
Please don't.
They just always find a way to lose.
I'm sorry, you're going to go out to Vegas to see it.
I've gone out to Arizona for a loss, LA for a loss. I don't want to fly out to Las Vegas for a loss. I flew out to Denver for a win. That was cool.
You went to New Orleans for a loss, didn't you?
Yeah. I don't want to talk about that.
It's okay.
Hey, I had a really cool.
These are beautiful cities you're going to.
Torched us that day.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you leave the West Coast, you come back home to play the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, your old friend.
Yeah.
I'm not predicting the magic replication. I'm taking a loss.
I got a loss on this one. I think the 49ers are going to have a big bounce back here.
Dub. Whoa. Bang. Okay. All right. Then you got a little homestand going on here. You got Titans at Browns. Cam Ward comes to town. How do you feel?
It's a win, baby.
A win, yeah.
That is a win.
I agree. I don't think the Titans are good enough. I think the Browns will beat the Titans. Then you got, in my opinion, what defines your season. Browns at Bears.
Yep.
And I feel like you're right in the middle of the pack right now, right? Based on all our predictions. You're playing the Bears, who we don't know. What's Caleb Williams going to be? What's their new situation going to be with getting Ben Johnson? That whole thing. And I think this is why I think the Browns will finish second in the division, because I think they'll beat the Bears.
I will be at that game, and I also predict that to be a win.
Let's go. Bring it home. Jacob?
Dub.
All right. So then you come home to play the Buffalo Bills. Woof.
I got that L. I'm taking that L.
Can't do it. I'm sorry.
Taking the L train on that one.
Damn it.
I have the Bills as the top seed in the AFC, by the way.
Okay. Oh, so you have the Chiefs as like the third seed, fourth seed?
I do. Okay. Third.
Okay. So then the Steelers come to town. Win. Sorry, Aaron. Win.
Which by process of elimination leaves me with a L in the final week against the Bengals.
Okay. I think it leaves me with an L too at Cincinnati.
Nope. I got to win. I got them going 4-1 down the back stretch. Winning the head-to-head with Cincy in both instances. I think the Cincinnati Bengals will also be at 9-8. We'll win the tiebreakers. We get to go to the playoffs. So as my bonus pick that doesn't count in this bet, by proxy, I did when I did the seedings last Thursday on All Eyes. Got the Ravens as the 2 seed. That means the Browns are traveling to Baltimore for a wild card round. Boys,
Dude, I don't like that.
I do. Flacco in Baltimore. January.
God, if there's a time for him to go crazy, if there was ever a storybook opportunity and time for him to just go absolutely batshit insane, it would. Yeah, that's when it would happen. That is when it would happen. That was. Yeah, that's when it would happen. You're right. Fuck. I'd love it though.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be the perfect time. Well, wait. Go ahead.
Oh, we'll do the damn thing. I don't know if Nicholas is going to be joining us. I think he had to make an abrupt exit here. So we're going to wrap this thing up, man. We did the damn thing. We did our bold bets. We did our prediction. We didn't even say what was on the line.
Oh, yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Okay. So the loser of this bet, of the record bet, and we went game by game. And we might have to come up with another tiebreaker, to be honest with you, just because it kind of finished. We were neck and neck. I didn't even get Nick's total. But the loser of this bet is going to do a loser pod, where in that pod, the two winners, pod is normal. The loser can only speak in either movie quotes or song lyrics, but that has to be picked ahead of time. So it's either one or the other for the entire podcast. So you, the viewer, get to win. It'll be hilarious. I just want to see how far we can take it, because I've never seen actually anyone successfully pull this off. So we're going to be astronauts in this field. We're going to a next level, and the loser is going to have a lot of homework to do to have enough movie quotes locked and loaded to be able to make it through an entire podcast.
It's going to be like the time I tried to do the milk challenge during the podcast, and it just went absolutely brutally, horribly wrong. And well, that's it, boys. We'll probably be back, I think, probably Wednesday night, probably depending on schedules. Make sure everything lines up for that. So as long as it does, we will see you guys again Wednesday night, and we'll talk about week 1, because we'll be mere days away at that point. So thank you guys so much. Make sure you're subscribed. Give us that thumbs up. We will see you guys again next time. As always, go Browns.